So this is YMP again for Going Digital. We are at episode number 3, and today we have Andree St-Germain, which is the CEO of Integra Resources and a member of the board of directors of Osisko Mining, Ascot Resources, and the Association for Mineral Exploration. And she's also a past winner of the YMP Award. So Andree, thank you and welcome.
Thanks, Bianca. Merci.
So I'm going to ask you a few questions that we received from our members. The first question is, how is the current situation with COVID-19 affecting the mining sector and more specifically Integra Resources?
Well, we can say that no industries really escaped the impacts of COVID-19. In my views, the producers are the most immediately affected, as they're losing revenue due to mine site closing and are usually carrying a larger, fixed cost structure. But, nonetheless, we're still very impactful for exploration and development companies such as Integra. For us, and I think for most, probably all companies in the mining sector, it was safety of our employees first. So, from the get-go, from mid-March, all the employees at the corporate level who've been working remotely from home. I mean, that was an easy decision. We're all very well set up to work remotely these days. We decided to stop drilling as well in mid-March. We were moving into a scheduled drill rotation field break anyway, which made it a bit easier to make the decision to shut down drilling and at the same time protect our site employees. It's important just to make a point here that there's a great deal of social distancing that can be practiced in the field as long as you have proper protocols in place. So, we are reviewing the drilling situation on a regular basis, and we'll reassess in May again to see if it's would be reasonable to contemplate a drilling restart as long as our staff is safe, obviously. One of the things we had to do as well is review what our critical activities are on site. For us, I mean, the most important one that we can't really live without is the water treatment facility. So we had to train additional staff on the water treatment operations, just in case someone gets sick. And we also had to review all the critical inventory items, such as, water pump, just to ensure that we had enough supplies to continue water treatment for 6 to 12 months. In the worst case scenario, in case of a disruption of the supply chain. Nonetheless, to say that we keep a close eye on expenses and our cash position. I think in these days, cash is king. Fortunately, we were able to raise a significant amount of equity back in Q4 2019. So we have a strong cash balance. Nonetheless, it's good financial discipline to prepare a worst case scenario to preserve our cash well into 2021. So we had to put together a contingency plan, really, that contemplates a prolonged pandemic-related shutdown of all businesses. At this time, we don't believe that we will need to enact it, though it's good to have, and it's important to know that we could weather the storm with a healthy treasury if need be. And, lastly, we had to cancel all marketing trips, all travels, and pretty much all investor conferences from now until June have been canceled. But we stayed very active on the marketing side. We used technologies such as Verify for all of our broker presentations and meetings with investors. And, so far it seems to go very well, and it's very well received.
And how do you communicate with your shareholder and kind of reassure them in the current situation?
So all marketing trips canceled, conferences are canceled. We've been heavily using Verify for all of our meeting. And, now that we have all investors at home in front of their computer screens, we have a captive and very attentive audience. The key messages for us, for Integra, and I think a lot of these can apply to some of the later exploration, early stage development companies, is that, first, our employees are safe. Second, we do have a strong cash position. For now, we're sticking to our original budget and work plan for the year. So all the non-drilling work, such as engineering work in support of the MET program, baseline studies, and eventually, pre-feasibility study work, continue as planned. However, if the situation doesn't improve in the upcoming months, we can significantly reduce expenses and maintain a strong cash position well into late 2021. Other than drilling, it's pretty much business as usual for us, continuing, baseline studies, initial permitting work, metallurgical work, and, trying to do some of those local initiatives as well, remotely. Even though we may not progress as fast as originally planned, some tasks are still more challenging to advance remotely. But finally, we will resume drilling as soon as it's deemed safe for our employees.
And do you think like the mining industry or how mining companies operate will be different in a post-COVID-19 world?
I definitely hope so. I would love to think that working from home will be more accepted. And, the key reason why I say that is because I think it's going to help address another challenge that our industry is facing, which is gender diversity. I think having more flexible work schedule, for example, for, a young mother with 2 kids at home, to be able to work 2 days a week from home rather than being in the office can make a big difference. I also hope that, this crisis change how we market for investors. As there's always been that need or that push to meet face to face. But, if you look at us now, we're actively marketing, sending our message across. Marketing travels are expensive when money should go into the ground and not on plane tickets. It's also taxing on executives' time. And most importantly, really increase our carbon footprint. So I think in this new economy, tools like Verify made it very easy, cost efficient to tell a story in a very interactive manner. I think mining companies also have to definitely increase their social media presence.
And there's a lot of talk about it, but do you think we'll see an increase in the demand for gold or an increase in the price of gold?
Yeah, without any doubts. The US dollar seems to be kind of the safe haven right now, but it won't take too long, I think, for things to switch to gold in a very near-term future. The massive and unprecedented fiscal and monetary stimulus that we are seeing from governments from around the world is really setting a very bullish environment for precious metals as a store of value. Gold is reacting like it has historically in times of crisis, such as the 2008 financial crisis, where we saw a strong multi-year gold rally. So we can expect the same again. And many believe that we will even see a stronger and potentially more explosive rally. The question though also is, should we expect precious metals equities to rally as well, and when? I think we will. There will be a short lag, I think, just like in 2008. And we have to wait for mining operations, drilling activities to kind of return to a normal. But we should definitely expect a rally in precious metals equities as investors are seeking leverage to gold. And if we look at, the overall market in general, what we're seeing here is an event-driven market crash, as opposed to a structural market crash like in 2008. Based on historical data, even though event-driven market crash tend to recover faster than structural market crash, we most likely can expect a good 15 months or so before a full market recovery. Though, it may recover a bit faster this time, given the unheard of level of government stimulus. But, the key takeaway here is that if history repeats itself, gold will rally, and gold and silver equities are poised as well to outperform and recover faster than the overall market.
And what do you think might be the impact of COVID-19 on exploration financing?
Well, gold will do well. Will remain strong or rally. Operations will come back to normal. Investors will come back to the mining space. The money will be there, but I believe investors will be extremely selective, most likely preferring producers at first, given the direct leverage to high gold price. In the short term, I think the market conditions will most likely remain challenging for explorers and developers. And this will impact the junior sector's ability to fund exploration. As a result, we can expect a meaningful decrease in exploration expenditures this year as explorers try to preserve their cash balance. It's also hard to say if, or how quickly explorers and developers share price will come back to their, pre-COVID level. I think we need, as an advancer, Integra as an advanced explorer, we can keep some sort of momentum with all our pre-feasibility steady level work, but, we likely need to get back to drilling to help our share price recover fully. And, for advanced development companies, that are looking at project or debt project financing, it's, debt lenders can go to site to conduct due diligence. Will credit appetite and funding costs change? Will this delay project financing? How will debt lenders adapt? It's a new situation for everyone. I think in a nutshell, there's definitely some uncertainty in the near future. Hence, exploration and development companies with a strong cash balance are definitely in a better position to survive the current volatile market conditions. But things, I think that's really just on a relatively short-term basis. Things will definitely improve, as we advance throughout the year. But as opposed to 2008 or the 2008-2011 period where anyone was able to raise money, I think, and I hope investors will be a lot more selective and focus on good projects and good management teams.
And speaking of investors, do you think there are currently unique opportunities in the market for investors?
Definitely. I think producers will recover well, probably faster than explorers and developers, given the high gold price, but there's also, across the world, weak local currencies and low fuel prices. For advanced explorers and developers, think of companies such as Integra, Ascot, Osisko mining, companies with strong cash balance, good management teams, and good projects. They're the one who will survive the storm and really be in a good position to ride the cycle. And, once things return to like the new normal, countries and states will need to kickstart their economies. So I wouldn't be surprised if this help streamlining the permitting process and help with local acceptance, given the job opportunities that result from mining operations. So mining companies with project development stage will benefit from this.
And do you think we're going to see more M&A and consolidation in the market in the months or years to come?
Yes. Especially if valuations remain low on the short term, and some companies have low cash reserves. There'll definitely be a lot of opportunities. Again, if we look back at 2008, we saw a flurry of M&A activity on the back of the gold bull market. And also like a recurring theme over the past few years is that there's a real scarcity of large developer projects in tier 1 jurisdictions, such as the US and Canada. So these assets will soon be in tremendous demand, as most producers don't have much in the way of development projects in their respective pipelines.
And then do you think we'll see the impact of low oil prices in the mining sector, like being lower energy costs and higher profits?
Yes, for sure. On the medium term, I think it's going to take time for oil demand to come back to the pre-COVID demand and prices, most likely. So as a result, oil price will most likely stay low. And mining companies, once they resume operations, should be in a position to benefit from the low oil price. Couple that with high gold price, weaker local currencies, and we should see producers improving margins, especially open pit operations.
And then I guess like one last question that I like to ask our speakers is, do you have any specific advice for young professionals in this current situation?
Well, we are seeing a much greater government intervention now that we have seen in the past, like even in 2008. This is unprecedented. All indicators are that we will see a repeat of 2008. And for those of you who are too young and missed the 2008 to 2011 cycle, it was definitely a good ride. It was very exciting times. And if we see a similar cycle, or perhaps something even better, I think there's going to be a lot of great opportunities for young mining professionals. In the meantime, we just need to hang tight. This is a temporary situation. We are miners after all, so we're accustomed to cycles, to up and down. But something good will come out of it. And lastly, well, safety first. So wash your hand and stay home.
Well, thank you so much on that, Andree. It's always a pleasure seeing you and speaking to you. So same to you. Stay safe.
Thank you, Bianca. Much appreciated. Thanks, everyone.